Hello students, how are you today? I'm happy to see you again. Welcome to my English class for 11th grade. Today there is a special guest. She's my talented student. Now let's watch her performance.
Хинти хангаа саяны өндөр сайхан нуруунууд хойд зүгийн чимэг болсон айн хөвчийн уулнууд минэн шарга намны өргөн их говууд өмнө зүгийн манлай болсон элсэн манхан далайнууд энэ бол миний төрсөн нутаг Монголын сайхан ороо хэрлэн онон туулын тонголог ариун мөрнүүд хотлолны эм болсон горих булаг аршаанууд хөвсгөл уус буурын гүн цэнхэр нуурууд хүм малын ундаа болсон тойрон бүрд уснууд энэ бол миний төрсөн нутаг Монголын сайхан ороо.
Have you enjoyed it? Do you know this poem? Do you like it? Now let's watch her to read in English.
High stately mountains of Hinti, Hanga, and Soyon, forest and thick wooded ridges, the beauty of the north, the great Gobi Desert, the spaces of Mining, Sharak, and Nemung, and the oceans of sand deserts that dominate the south. This is my native land, the lovely country, my Mongolia. The crystal rivers of sacred Hirtlang, Onong, and Tol, brooks, streams, and springs that bring health to all my people. The blue lakes of Hufshul, Ops, and Bur, deep and wide. Rivers and lakes where people and cattle quench their thirst. This is my native land, the lovely country, my Mongolia.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think? What are we going to learn today? Today we are going to learn wonders of Mongolia. Now let's get started. Now let's see lesson objectives.
Today we are going to understand the main points in listening about wonders of Mongolia. Then recognize the opinion of the speaker from the talk about travel zones of Mongolia. And make a presentation about one museum in Ulaanbaatar.
At first, we are going to learn some new words related to the poem My Native Land. You will listen to the meanings of these new words. Then you will match these new words to their translations in Mongolia.
1. Ridge. It means a long, narrow hilltop, mountain range, or watershed. 2. Brook. It means a small stream. 3. Dominate. It means to have power and influence over. 4. Quench. It means to drink liquid so that you stop being thirsty. 5. Splendid. It means excellent, or beautiful and impressive. 6. Vast. It means extremely big.
Okay, now let's check answers. You have learned some new words. You will copy them on your notebooks. So, let's practice using the new words. You will fill in the missing words. I will wait for you a while. Okay, now let's check answers.
1. I love this place. The scenery is really splendid. 2. He dominates his family and makes all the decisions. 3. He drinks to quench his thirst, and that is all. 4. Once I went on a visit to a New England village with its frozen lakes and ridges, snowfields. 5. It's quite a jump from one side of the brook to the other.
Good. Let's go on. Now, let's look at the pictures with the title and translations in Mongolia and learn the travel zones of Mongolia. Now, let's read the travel zones of Mongolia. First picture is mountain forest steppe. Second picture is Gobi desert zone. Third picture is steppe zone. Now you will listen to the paragraph and choose the correct picture with the title.
To the south, a large desert stands on both sides of the border of Mongolia and the Inner Mongolia, China. It is a place of rocky mountains, sand dunes, huge deserts, with well-watered oases. The climate is harsh, from +40 Celsius in summer to -40 Celsius in winter, with winds and dust storm up 140 kilometers per hour.
Okay, let's check the answer. Correct answer is second picture. It's Gobi desert zone. Now you will see next pictures. You will look at the pictures with the title and translations in Mongolia. Let's read them. First picture is Taiga forest zone. Second picture is wetland zone. Third picture is high mountain zone. Now you will listen to the paragraph and choose the correct picture with the title.
Northern Mongolia includes taiga forest on the planet Earth. The taiga is a forest consisting of mainly larches and, in higher areas, pines. Wild animals are deer, reindeer, moose, wolves, and sables, brown bears, otters, lynx, chipmunks, and brown squirrels. Mixed forest and grassland are the biggest pasture.
Let's check the answer. Correct picture is first, it's Taiga forest zone. I hope you have learned the travel zones of Mongolia. Now let's go on. Now let's talk about wonders of Mongolia. At first you will see this picture. Do you know this lake? Is it a wonder of Mongolia? Yes, of course. It's Khopsgul Lake. So you will write some sentences about Khopsgul Lake using the prompts. Okay, now let's see the sentences which have been written and read them.
Lake Khopsgul is the largest freshwater lake in Mongolia. It is located in the northwest of Mongolia near the Russian border.
Okay, you have learned how to write the sentences about wonders of Mongolia. Okay, let's go on. Now we are going to talk about museums in Ulaanbaatar city. I will ask you some questions about the museums in Ulaanbaatar city. First question, how many museums are there in Ulaanbaatar city? Your answer? There are about 18 museums in Ulaanbaatar city. Next question, have you ever visited the museums in Ulaanbaatar? Your answer could be yes, I have. No, I haven't. If you answer yes, I will ask you next question. Which museum did you visit last? Your answer could be, I visited the Bogd-Hang Palace Museum last. Okay, next question. Which museum would you recommend for tourists to visit in Ulaanbaatar? Your answer could be the Bogd-Hang Palace Museum. Why? You will write your answer on your notebooks. So, let's make a presentation about one museum. Now, I will teach you how to make a presentation. Before you make a presentation about one museum, you will choose one museum. Okay, now let's choose the museum. Do you know these museums in Ulaanbaatar city? Of course you know them. Now let's read these museums. First picture is the Bogd-Hang Palace Museum. Second picture is the Fine Arts Jana Bazar Museum. Third picture is the National History Museum. Fourth picture is the Central Museum of Mongolian Dinosaurs. Last picture is the Har Museum. Okay, now let's choose one museum which we are going to make a presentation about. Okay, we have chosen the Bogd-Hang Palace Museum. Okay, you should visit the museum. Now let's visit the Bogd-Hang Palace Museum.
This palace complex was built between 1893 to 1903 for the 8th Bogd-Javzandamba, the theocratic ruler of Mongolia. The 8th Bogd-Javzandamba was born in Lhasa in 1869. He was proclaimed the 8th Bogd-Javzandamba in 1871. He arrived and was enthroned on the Bogd-Jajin's throne in Khalkha, Mongolia in 1874. From 1911 to 1919, the 8th Bogd-Javzandamba was proclaimed the sunlit and eternal theocratic king of Mongolia and served as the country's constitutional monarch from 1921 to 1924, after the People's Revolution. The Bogd Khan succumbed to illness and passed away at the age of 55 in the fall of 1924. The palace complex was turned into a museum in 1926 in accordance with orders from the Central Committee of the People's Party and the government. In April 1, 1926, historical, cultural, rare and unique personal effects and belongings of the Bogd Khan was transferred to the museum. Currently the Bogd Khan Palace Museum comprises of two parts, the 7 Wisdom and Glorifying Summer Temples and the Winter Palace. The Winter Palace comprises of the 2-story European design building, and the 7 Summer Temples are comprised of the following: the Maharaja's Temple, Temple of Thaunkas, Temple of Appliques, Temple of Many Deities, the Library Temple, and the Labarang Temple. The museum complex also comprises of 2 pagodas, a shield wall, the Peace and Happiness Gate representative of Mongolian independence, and 2 flagpoles. The museum currently exhibits many unique and interesting artifacts from the 17th to 20th centuries, from priceless items that pertain to Mongolian politics, religion, art, and culture, as well as Buddhist art and iconography created by the first Bogd and Underjejeen Zainabazar and the Zainabazar school, to clothing, regalia, and items worn and used by the Bogd Khan and Queen Dandogjalim, and many more. The museum complex is one of Mongolia's most important historical sites and was where the 20th century efforts to gain independence from the Manchu Qing dynasty was spearheaded from. It was also where many state meetings were held and officials and visitors were received. Furthermore, the processional of the Great Independence Ceremony took root from this palace to the State Yellow Palace, and the king and queen lived and conducted state affairs in this palace for over 20 years. Thus, the main goal of the Bogd Khan Palace Museum is to protect, preserve and research the societal, cultural and historical aspects of the period of Bogd Khan's Mongolia. The museum also strives to research the development of Mongolia during the early 20th century, research and highlight the duties and roles of the king and queen, research the changes made to the country as a result of gaining independence, conduct research into the tangible and intangible culture of Mongolia, and to promote exploration.
We have visited the Bogd Khan Palace Museum and have found out some information about the Bogd Khan Palace Museum. Okay, now let's find out some information about the museum from internet and other sources. Now I will show you some information which I found out from internet. Okay, let's read some information about the museum.
In 1924, Zen Road, Southern Ulaanbaatar. Summer Palace and Winter Palace. 7 temples. 8,000 objects. Sculptures from Zainabazar. A collection of personal objects belonging to the last Bogd Khan and his wife. A large collection of Buddhist art objects.
We have found some information about the Bogd Khan Palace Museum. Okay, let's go on. Okay, we have chosen the museum and visited the museum. Then we have found out some information about it. So let's make a presentation about Bogd Khan Palace Museum using some information we have found from internet. Now I will show you a presentation about the museum. You will listen to the presentation and you will put the verbs into correct form.
The Bogd Khan Palace is one of the most important monuments of Mongolian history. It was established in 1924 after the death of the Bogd Khan. The Bogd Khan Palace Museum is located in Zen Road, Southern Ulaanbaatar city. The Bogd Khan Palace Museum consists of 7 summer prayer temples and the Winter Palace. The collections of the museum include unique and valuable objects related to Mongolia's political, religious, and artistic history from the 17th to early 20th centuries, bronze casting, silk paintings, mineral paintings, made by well-known artists, as well as objects owned and used by 8th Bogd Jebtsundampak Tutu and his wife Queen Dandogjalim. There are also sculptures and famous stairs made by Mongolian First Bogd, Zainabazar. The collection at the Palace Museum numbers over 8,000 exhibits, of which 72 are certified by the state as unique and others are priceless artifacts.
Okay, now let's check answers. First verb, it was established. Second verb, is located. Third verb, consists. Fourth verb is include. Fifth verb is are made. Sixth verb is are certified. Okay, I hope you have learned how to make the presentation about one museum in Ulaanbaatar city. Now I will give you homework. At home, you will make a presentation about one wonder of Mongolia. The lesson is over. See you next lesson. Goodbye.